Good morning, everyone. Good matcha morning to you guys. Happy Monday morning to all of you fabulous, beautiful creatures out there. I hope everyone has woken up this morning and been like, another grand week. I, for one, am a very happy camper because I am finally starting to feel better. I've got a whole bunch of different medicines under my belt to help me feel a little bit better. But it's definitely put me in the right direction, on the right track, and I am so stoked. You guys have no idea. This whole month of January has probably been one of the hardest months so far. I just have no idea why, but my body hates me. But I'm glad that I woke up this morning and I was like finally refreshed, even with like the crap sleep that I did have, because it was horrible sleep. It was really bad. It was like maybe a few hours or whatever. I think about 2.5 hours, something like that. I have no idea why, but that's the way that it happened. But when I woke up, I was like, oh my God, I feel a little bit better. I can't believe this. I could like wake up and like get out of my bed without, an enormous amount of pain. So I was happy. I was so happy. So I'm hoping that because I am, you guys are too. So I'm hoping that everybody is also having a grand morning and waking up refreshed, waking up as good as I feel this morning, to be able to start this wonderful week of awesomeness where we're just going to get so much done, so many goals, so many things. I am, going to have to play a little bit of catch up, but that's okay. I don't mind that at all, especially if I'm feeling better. So, but good matcha morning. We are having a grand morning here at Alpha Kid and working on some great stuff, as you guys can see in the beginning. I am still working. I do not like the matcha opener. I have to fix that. But I have an idea in my head. I just have to wait for some of the things to come still. So when I get those things, I'll be able to do like a little opener that I like 1,000 times better. Because I have it in my head and I'm like, ooh, yeah, that looks good. But I have to put all my, fun stuff together. So, but it's looking good so far. I'm liking the little music video things that I put together. So far, I have Cowboy Bebop and Stranger Things, which are two favorites of mine. But Giphy has like a whole bunch of different free stuff. And I was like, I'm just going to slap some GIFs together and see how that goes. And then put it to my music. And I liked it a lot. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Okay. So it gives me, that 5 minutes to get ready and all of that fun stuff before it starts. And you guys get to look at like some really awesome fun stuff too, which is dope. I like that. So, but it's not, up to 100% par of what I like, but we'll get there. So we're going ahead and jump right in, you guys. Happy Matcha Gaming morning. Bringing some gaming news to your beautiful souls. The first one that we've got today, I decided to do something really fun. I came across this actually the other day, and I was like, oh, this is a cute story. So I was like, let's start off with a cute story. I was like, that's always fun, and then get into the nitty gritty of the gaming world. So, from what I understand, this started off as a school project, which actually ended up turning into a gaming store, which is really cool. As you can see, the family that has put this together and this picture cutting their red tape for their gaming store in their town in Maine. So all my people that are in or around Holton, Maine, you guys can actually check out this gaming store that just opened up. It's called Shiretown Gaming LLC, and it definitely isn't your everyday shop. It's collaborative effort between Roxanne Bruce, Patrick Bruce Jr., and Greg Coster. And the company started out as a school project, which, then grew into something much bigger. It's one of two game workshops for Warhammer World officially licensed stores in the state. The business is a destination for those who love card-based games such as Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, as well as those prefer old school Dungeons and Dragons, which is awesome because there are so many people starting to get back into that. It's not even funny. There are also a few classic, video game systems, including Virtual Reality Unit, which is available for use, which is also awesome. But to participate in gaming events, customers will either need to pay a daily fee of $5 or you guys can sign up for a monthly membership. Those who want to try out certain types of games may borrow cards, dice, and figures while at the store, which is pretty awesome too, especially if you've already like paid a fee, but you don't exactly have a whole lot of money to be able to get, everything that you need, which is really awesome. They kind of set it up for you too. Um, they also have a line of comic books and other merchandise available for sale as well. And if you guys, get a little bit peckish, they do have some snacks and some energy drinks and some sodas, to keep the gaming juices flowing. Don't forget your water. Love you guys. The business also has items to be used in LARPing, which is live action role playing, for those of you guys who don't know what that is, such as elf ears, suits of armor, and custom clothing, which definitely piqued my interest because there's not like a whole lot of that around. It's also starting to become more of a thing too, which is really cool. So, like in the Atlanta area, there are quite a few places now, especially since the movie industry and things like that have moved into. So, if you guys are in Atlanta, there's a lot of spots there as well. But special gaming events will also take place on a regular basis and can be found on the company's website. So if you guys want to get to the company's website pretty easy, you can find them through their name, or you guys can visit my Discord where my sites and sources for my Matcha Morning is. And I've got the blog for you guys. So it's like boop, boop, super easy to be able to get to. So it is Shiretown Gaming LLC, and it's located at 81 Main Street. It's open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Wednesdays and Thursdays, 11 to 10, and Friday is 9 to 10, as well as Saturday. So if you guys are wanting to check that out, like I said, in Maine, definitely check it out. There's a whole bunch of different stuff, at this at their gaming stores. So I am super stoked for what it has become, especially something from a little school project that they started to now it's a hopefully going to be a thriving business where they are in Maine. And I'm excited for them. I'm excited for the whole family. So that's our fun feel good story for today. I liked that a lot. I don't know. I don't know if it was like the LARPing or the card games, the Dungeons and Dragons, or just like the love for the fact that some people decided to like put this together and do it. Because that's always been like part of my dream is to have like my own comic book shop, like nerd shop where it's just like a whole mess load of different things of like everything nerdy, and like the entire background of like or the backyard and everything is just like ready for LARPing and different like experiences IRL. So, like different video games and like things like that. And, October have some zombies, just different fun things. That's always been a dream. So that's probably a little bit, of it as well. Okay, so moving on, like I was saying, the last few matcha mornings to start off with, there are always rumors everywhere all the time, 24/7. And this rumor is pretty awesome. And what actually started off as a rumor now has apparently been confirmed by Rockstar Gaming, that a Grand Theft Auto 6 is definitely in the works and in the making. So, a new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series is in active development, says Rockstar Games. They came forward and stated, "We are pleased to confirm that active development for the next entry in Grand Theft Auto series is well underway." The company wrote this post on its website. In the more immediate future, Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online will release on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S on March 15th. So this is really exciting to hear because like it's not even really come out for the rest of the consoles, and they're already like, okay, yeah, we're ready for the next one. It's already underway. We've already started it basically. So that's pretty awesome, especially with its popularity and the profits that, have been behind the game. It would only make sense that they would be like, yeah, absolutely. It's also going to make a lot of people want to buy Grand Theft Auto 5 too, especially on their new consoles to, play this one because they know the next one's going to be coming out sometime soon as well. So the game originally released on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 back in 2013, which is like over 8 years ago. And Grand Theft Auto 5 released a little over 5 years ago, which was back in 2008. So it definitely has taken a little while to be able to get the new game out, but it's awesome that they have, come forward to state that they are in, already ready and underway with it, which is pretty awesome. So if you do have a PlayStation 5 and you do have an Xbox S or S, don't forget that Grand Theft Auto 5 will be out on March 15th. That's another one that will be coming. Um, but like I said, this is pretty exciting, and I'm kind of stoked for this as well, especially because Rockstar's like, yeah, we've already done it. So, for all of you Grand Theft Auto lovers, that will be coming out. And onward to our next one. I don't know if you guys have heard of Netmarble, but Netmarble is one of the biggest mobile companies in South Korea. And they have a slew of different mobile games, that have released from there. Some of them that you've been able to play here as well. Um, the gaming giant said it was developing a sequel to its Monopoly style board game titled Everybody's Marble Meta World under its subsidiary Netmarker FNC, according to a report by the Korea Herald last week. So, this new game is part of the company's broader pivot into the virtual world, and supposedly it's supposed to be in the metaverse. So, Netmarble's metaverse development arm was set up in August of last year as part of the company's push to explore opportunities within the new virtual medium. Like most people, they're going towards the metaverse and more virtual reality because, of course, that's the way that it's going to start being, at some point for so many different things, it's not even funny. Netmarble's metaverse game will feature all the trimmings of what game enthusiasts have come to expect, with a title based on the virtual world, including NFTs and digital avatars, as well as the capability to buy and sell virtual land plots. The international version is expected to be set up under a play to earn model, allowing users to earn virtual currency for real money, per the report. Pay to earn games are currently banned in South Korea, and as such, Netmarble's domestic version will only feature NFTs, which is, a little sad on that part just because it makes it a little bit more difficult, but easier for people like us to be able to do something like that. But that sucks. Bang also added that the Netmarble plans to follow up on the Metaverse's entertainment original idea of introducing consumers to its metahuman virtual female idols later this year. Netmarble is South Korea's largest mobile gaming company by total revenue and clocked around KRW's 607 billion, which is about 506.2 million. The company has produced iconic mobile game titles such as Marvel Future Revolution and Lineage 2 Revolution, with downloads reaching into the hundreds of millions for those of you who probably have seen those titles. The company also plans to leverage its overseas dominance, where it derives 70% of its revenue. I'm excited in general about VR. Not so much with the NFTs also included in it, but this is the new thing. So I'm interested to see how exactly that starts working, especially in gaming. But as an overall, I'm kind of stoked to see where virtual reality is going to go, especially when it's, in the palm of your hands. And that's that's easy to get to, which adds a lot of different things as time goes on. But we'll see how people are, and we'll see how it works out with everyone. They might not be as angry as some of the PlayStation users, because here recently, poor PlayStation, I'm so sorry. And I'm sorry for everyone that's having to deal with everything, because that brings me actually into my next few, actually, next few. So for those of you who do have a PlayStation, I do apologize. There are quite a few different things that I wish I could change automatically, especially because some of these games and some of the things that I want to do, I'm also frustrated with. So for those of you who do and did get Sifu's early access release, it's causing a lot of issues. So if you have not downloaded it yet and you have not gotten the pre-release version, you guys might want to hold off on that. So if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition of the Kung Fu Action Adventure, or you did, download the pre-release, PlayStation says it has since resolved the issues. However, there have been a lot of tweets since they've said that about the game still crashing for different people or not even opening at all. Um, so there's a few different potential solutions from a couple of different people on this blog as to how to fix it, from restarting your console to launching the game from your library instead, which happens sometimes on PC and things like that. If you're on PlayStation 5, it's a little bit different. You have to go to your settings, your user accounts, and then restore your licenses to begin the process of it. You can do something similar on PS4 as well. Go to your settings, your account, your management, and then restore your licenses through your management. It doesn't seem like all of these solutions are working for everybody, but some of these solutions are. There's also a couple of different things that I've seen on Reddit as well for different people, keep your console off for like 30 seconds, then turn it back on so everything, can connect properly. Unfortunately, if it's still not working for you though, Sifu's developers do ask that you DM them or send them an email. Make sure that you also have your PlayStation Network ID along with your region and whether or not, of course, you're using a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4, because it sounded like I said floor. Slow Clap says it will relay this information to PlayStation engineers who are tracking the problem. Some users also suggest downloading a game that you currently don't have from your PlayStation Plus collection and then trying to install Sifu if you're having trouble downloading it in general, which a few people are as well. Most of the stuff that I've seen is either it's not opening once it's downloaded or it's crashing as soon as you do try and upload it or try and open it in general. So if you guys are having these problems, definitely check out the blog that I do have on my sites and sources on my Discord, because it will open up and show you different places that you can report some of the problems that you are having. So you're not just relaying information to the PlayStation Store, but also Sifu's developers, so that way they can fix the coding on it, because all PlayStation's going to do is relay the information to Sifu. So it'll make it a little bit easier, quicker fixes and things like that. And also, in the future too, if you guys have any games or, anything like that, you can find the developers pretty easily. They're usually very excited when you find problems or you find coding that's messed up or, different things that just aren't working properly, because they can get to it pretty quickly and usually have a patch within the week. So, like I said, if you guys are having these problems on your PlayStation, definitely check out my sites and sources. Pretty easy to find the information on Reddit as well, if you guys are looking for different ways to be able to fix that issue or try and fix that issue. And hopefully it will fix that issues or fix those issues for you guys. Supposedly, they might be pushing back the full release of the game because of the few different things that are happening. But I will, keep you guys up to date. And if I don't share anything on my Matcha Morning, I definitely will be sharing the blog on my socials, so that way you guys can see that as well. But like I said, definitely if you guys are falling into any of those things that are going wrong with that game, definitely check that out, because that definitely makes it a little bit easier. So I know I told you guys that, poor PlayStation, you guys are dealing with a lot. And I laugh because I'm also sad because I own a PlayStation. So, that's basically my main gaming besides my PC and the things that I can't get on my PlayStation, I get on my PC. But mainly everything that I started out with, everything that I have now, at least, is on PlayStation. So we've been seeing a lot of different things from games that have been coming out, for PlayStation Now, PlayStation Plus, different problems that have arisen for different games, just a whole slew of different things. Well, not only were people upset this month, but they are super upset with PlayStation Plus in general because of what they decided to do with their marketing. And before I go on, I'm just going to say from a business point and from a business standpoint and how you would want to run a business and things like that, this is something that you would do because this is what everyone else does. This is how you advertise, different things like that. But PlayStation decided that with the PlayStation Plus games, which, mind you, if you guys have not checked that out, that is Planet Coaster, EA Sports, UFC 4, and Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. Um, the former is the month's PlayStation 5 offering, while the latter two games are the month's PlayStation 4 offerings. Um, if you did decide to already download Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, that's what's been angering everybody is you can see the image that I've got up here. It greets players when they load up, the 9-year-old DLC as a pre-order screen for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is releasing in March. For those of you who have not checked that out, and definitely check that out because my best friend sent me that and I was so stoked and excited, especially for her. But which is the successor to Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. And what's angering everybody is the way that they've decided to advertise for this. So the whole point of, there being games that you can download is they're supposed to be games. So number one, people are really upset that it's a DLC to a game that's, been out for a very long time. Not just that, but they're also advertising for a game that's going to be coming out in March. So it's kind of almost spitting in the face of people like, I'm not going to give you a whole game, but check out this whole game, that's going to be coming soon that you can buy from us. So, like, I get where people are upset about it. And my God, if you have been on PlayStation Reddit, you have seen people left and right talking about this. Um, but I get where the anger comes from. One of the PlayStation Plus users on Reddit actually stated not only was getting a DLC as one of this month's game insulting, this is the first screen we get when we load up the game. So it was the very first screen that pops in, which, I'm wondering if this is something from PlayStation or this is something from them. But, I get it, like I said, from a business standpoint when it comes to like, hey, like we've got, the new game coming out and we decided, to put this new DLC out as, a fun little snidbit from a game that you have already or, whatever. Um, but when it comes to being able to get as much as you can and what you can benefit from PlayStation, it definitely is kind of a spin in the face. And I don't mean that, to be ugly towards PlayStation at all. But when it's come to the games that they've decided to come out with last year and so far this year, it's not beating the punch like it is with Xbox. And that's the console wars are coming back because of everything going on with PlayStation, Xbox, and Activision and Bungie and all of the fun stuff, going on right now. But when it comes to your own subscribers, you've really, really got to pay attention, not just to, trying to defeat your foe in a sense, I guess. And that's what it feels like. But you have to still remember the people that, are hanging on to your company. And if you want people to stay with your company, you're wanting people to like the things that you're doing, this isn't necessarily the right direction that you want to go in, especially, like I said, because of the things that have, come from PlayStation this past year. Um, it's not up to par for what a lot of people feel like it should be. And I get that, especially because people have pumped a lot of money into whatever console that they like, the best, whether it's Xbox, whether it's PlayStation, whether it's PC, whatever the case may be. People will pump money into what they already like, so those games and those free things that are, an extra add on to, what they've already spent makes it feel, a little bit worthwhile. But if you've got people forking out, a whole bunch of money, paying monthly for something, you know, you want to keep up with that. you don't necessarily want to start going in the direction of not benefiting, from it. So I'm hoping as time goes by, PlayStation gets it a little bit more. We'll see what happens with that because PlayStation, they they're like Nintendo or like I guess any console. They'll always have their way of doing things, which is, totally cool. Like I get that. But at the same time, like I said, it's something that they definitely need to take some time and really think about, Don't necessarily rely on things coming out to make sure there's a balance in the gaming world and make sure that voice is heard and you've got your foot in where it needs to be. You excite the people and bring in the people that you already have and make it even better, and it will make more people come to it. you know I've also been reading people have been selling their PlayStations left and right because of the selling of Destiny. So I I I don't really know if that is 100% true, whether or not, but All right, so we're going to head on over to Game Pass now, Xbox Game Pass. And for those of you who do have Xbox Game Pass, February 10th is going to be a big day for you guys. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it's going to be a big deal for a whole lot of different things, not just then, but other things, as well. So, February 10th, Xbox Game Pass subscribers will be able to check out Besiege, the console version of the previous released PC game that lets players build siege weapons to take out enemies and solve physics-based puzzles. While Besiege has previously been available for PC, it's just now making its Xbox debut, and so it can still be qualified as a day one game. It will be joined by Edge of Eternity, which finds itself in a similar situation. Edge of Eternity is a game built in style of a JRPG, though it was developed in France and not Japan. Edge of Eternity is a day one Xbox Game Pass game because, like Besiege, it's just now making its console debut. Even though it was previously available on other platforms, Edge of Eternity earned somewhat mixed reviews at the time of its original PC release, so it will definitely be interesting to kind of see how people will react to it when it comes out on February 10th. A couple of other games will also be coming to Game Pass on February 10th that aren't day one Xbox Game Pass games, but, should still be a point of interest. Skull, the Hero Slayer, earned positive reviews when it first launched and should appeal to its fans of side-scrolling action platformer games, which I love. The Last Kids on Earth and The Staff of Doom, meanwhile, is a co-op action game based on the children's novels of the same name. While it may have somewhat more limited appeal than some of the other games coming to Xbox Game Pass, those looking for a new co-op game to play should definitely check that one out. The most interesting new game coming to Xbox Game Pass on February 10th is Crossfire X. Crossfire 5 is a pure Xbox exclusive with no PC version available, and it will have a free-to-play multiplayer experience developed by Smile Game Entertainment, but the real draw is the campaign development by none other than Remedy Entertainment. It will be available on Game Pass subscribers on Xbox One and Xbox Series X, like I said, on February 10th. And considering Remedy's track record, it is something that I think everyone will be excited for. So definitely check that out as well. So it definitely is going to be a big day for that. Also, after February 10th, February 14th will be the day for ARK Ultimate Survivor Edition. And I know so many people are going to be so excited for that. So if you guys would like to check that out as well. And it also will be joined with Infernax, which is a retro throwback game designed as a homage of sorts, to the Castlevania titles. February 17th as well. Those who are subscribed to PC Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will be able to play Total Warhammer 3 on Xbox Game Pass Day 1. And it's the latest installment in the critically acclaimed strategy game franchise. and the new entry is looking really, really good so far. It kind of, remains to be seen if it can live up to the high bar set by its predecessors. But, Game Pass subscribers will definitely find that out later this month. So definitely check those out. I definitely check out the few things that are coming out as well. I also have a whole list on this blog as well for everything that is new coming to Game Pass, things that are free and things that are like super, super cheap. So definitely check that out on my sites and sources so that way you guys can get to that super duper easy. I know you guys definitely want to, especially, for my PC peeps. So there are also some changes that will be coming to Xbox Game Pass as well, and Xbox Live Gold. One of these changes involves refunds. More specifically, Microsoft will now contact Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Live Gold subscribers on 12-month subscriptions and then give them options to end their contract and claim a proportional refund. Previously, this wasn't possible. This is only one of the few pro-consumer changes so far. One of the big worries about signing up for a subscription is forgetting about it, of course, like we all do. Something like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and, lots of different things. That being said, Microsoft is now going to contact all existing customers with inactive memberships about stopping payments. From here, if the inactivity continues, the subscription will be halted. How much time has to pass for something to qualify as quote unquote inactive, and how long the inactivity has to continue before the subscription is canceled, they really haven't said yet. So that information hasn't been provided yet or not. I would imagine it's probably somewhere like 6 months. If you've not touched your Xbox for 6 months, that's, a pretty good indication that you probably aren't needing it and you might want to stop it to save you a little bit of money. Microsoft is also going to provide better alerts to price increases to both subscription services, though again, it's unclear exactly what that specifically means. Microsoft is now committed to providing more information upfront, which includes alerting customers to auto-renew policies, how to turn off auto-renew, and how refunds can be granted following an accidental auto-renew. All of this follows the pressure that the UK Competition and Markets Authority, which is currently investigating not just the auto-renew policies on Xbox, but also on Nintendo and PlayStation right now as well. So we might be, seeing some differences, especially with the way that things go with subscriptions and things like that with Nintendo and PlayStation. And I would imagine this is going to start going to other subscription services as well, if it's not included as, with their stuff. So we'll see exactly what happens and what they will say. I definitely will keep you guys updated on this specifically with changes with Xbox, because this is, a big change now with a whole lot of different stuff, not to mention, the things that have been bought, companies that have been bought, but also everything that's changing with the cloud, everything that's going on with all of these new laws that are happening to try and change different things. So I will be keeping up with this. If I don't cover it, like I said, in my Matcha morning, I definitely will be sharing it with you guys on all my different stuff. So that way, you guys can make sure that you're up to date with everything and you know what's going on. Because I don't like being in the dark either. No one likes that. And delicious matcha. Okay, so rumors be a flying. And this is one rumor that is a flying. So a new Super Mario game has potentially leaked by a Nintendo insider. So it will be 5 years this October, actually. I'm saying 5 years because it feels like 5 years already. That Super Mario Odyssey, which is the most recent Super Mario game that has released on Nintendo Switch. According to rumors, a sequel is in the works, but so far nothing has come of these rumors. That said, in the meantime, a new rumor has surfaced, and if it's accurate, the next Mario game could be a spinoff and it probably won't scratch the itch that many are unfortunately dying to scratch. The leak comes from a well-known Nintendo leaker, Nate the Hate, a source like every industry insider that has gotten things wrong in the past, of course, like Nintendo Switch Pro, but also has relayed information that went to be proved completely accurate. And I'm talking like completely accurate. So during an episode of their YouTube podcast, they relayed word that there is an interest in a Super Mario Muso game. The catch is Nate the Hate doesn't know if the game is in development at Koei Tecmo, but all have heard it is in their interest, to make such a game. Years ago, this may have been an easy rumor, of course, to write off, but now that Legend of Zelda has gotten its, little treatment in 2020, via Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, it's not so, easy to write off. Of course, I'm going to keep monitoring the situation and keep everything up on trying to figure out whether or not this is 100% true or not. But this is exciting. None of anything that I've been able to see so far since I did read this blog, I have been looking, in different places. But so far, this is all I can find is this rumor by Nate the Hate. But, like I said, there have been things that have not come to fruition, things that definitely have come from, what has been said and has been, like almost scary, like 100%, like you were told this. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's, like I said, a whole lot of rumors at the beginning of the year. So, we'll see. So this, however, is not a rumor. Nintendo reconfirms release windows for major upcoming Switch games. For those of you excited about that, there is quite a few different games that have been set, and the latest report on the releases supposedly are going to stick, supposedly. But we all know, of course, they're not going to. However, Nintendo has released a current docket for 2022 and has announced in January, at the end of January, what exactly will be coming out for this year. So get excited for my Switch peoples. Of course, Pokemon Legends Arceus has already come out. That came out January 28th. And so far has been doing pretty well with a few people. There are a couple things that people don't like, of course, like not being able to name your Pokemon. But when it comes to how beautiful the game is and how they put it together, I'm okay with that. But there are a couple of other things that are also coming out, like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which I am also super stoked about, which will be coming out March 25th, 2022. There are a couple of other things as well, like Splatoon 3, which doesn't have an exact date yet. The sequel to Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and they said it would be out in 2022, but they did put a temporary beside it, so I'm hoping that it won't be. The other temporary is Meteor Prime 4, which is also to be determined, but they put it on the list. So I'm guessing that if it doesn't come out by the end of this year, it probably will at the beginning of the year. However, I'm pretty sure that most everything that is on this list, and there are quite a few different things on this list, like Triangle Strategy, Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope, Bayonetta 3. These, I believe, definitely will be able to make it this year. And I'm hoping that the next Breath of the Wild will be able to make it before the end of the year. But this is what they've stated for 2022. So I'm hoping that everything will be able to stick, especially, a couple of different dates. Pokemon Legends Arceus definitely came out when it said it was going to. So I'm hoping that, like I said, everything will stick and they'll come to an agreement with everything else as well to the exact dates. But I'm theorizing that the new Legend of Zelda will be coming out probably around Christmas time this year, as business goes, it makes sense. And it would be a grand time, especially with the new Switches that have come out. By that time, bugs will be fixed, with the new OLEDs and all that fun stuff. So that's my guess. I'm gonna take that guess, and I'm gonna say yes to that theory. I think that's what's probably going to happen, but it's also a theory. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see if Nintendo can keep the few things that they're talking about. But I'm excited for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I really like Kirby, anyways, and I've always really loved Kirby. So just super stoked for that game as well. And there's a lot of different games that I've been super stoked for, especially this year. So one game that I was super stoked for was Halo Infinite. And I have been able to play it on Xbox, but it is not what I wanted, which was on my PC. So I unfortunately, and it's so lame. I am one of the few people, I say few people, I am one of the percentage of people that has a specific graphics card that's having problems playing Halo Infinite on their PC. So I have been avidly trying to figure out how to backdoor so many different things to try and override some of the coding and things that are going on with my Halo Infinite on my PC. I've been able to, like I said, play it on Xbox, which is, really awesome still, that I've been really glad that I've been able, to play a little bit. But I wanted to play it on my PC. I had everything set up. That's what I wanted. That's what I was gearing for. So my problem is I can't even open the game at all. I can't change my settings, and I can't get into the specifics of the settings unless I open the game. And like I said, I've been backdooring everything that I can, lowering resolutions where I can, lowering FPS where I can, different things like that in places that I can. Uh, my Steam, I tried with my Xbox Game Pass. I tried with a few different companies of downloading it with them to see if that was the issue as well, and it is not. So there was a poll that was taken on Twitter and a couple of other places as well, Reddit being one of them, and they were asking PC users if how their experiences were, if they were liking the game, different things like that. And the amount of people that are dealing with issues and dealing with the same kinds of issues that I am is ridiculous. I have people with lower graphics cards being able to play Halo Infinite while mine is, in its special situation, unable to fully load and be compatible with for some weird friggin' reason. But other people are experiencing a whole lot of issues. And based off of the polls so far that's already gone out, it's a whopping 74% of people who have a PC who have Halo Infinite downloaded are having a horrible time. And it's 20 some odd people that are having a grand time. So this is huge, a really, really big rift on PC. So I'm hoping that developers will be able to come forward to try and fix some of the issues that are going on. Like I said, there's countless issues with so many different things that it was ridiculous. I was looking at at everything from wildly inconsistent frame rates to instances of horrendous stuttering, screen tearing on loading screens, frequent crashes, memory leaks, just so many different things, glitches, pools, desyncing. There were so many. I couldn't believe all of the stuff that people were putting forward on Twitter and on Reddit of the different problems that people were having, to the point of where it was just wow, this is a gigantic performance issue. And especially since I know a lot of people on PC that really enjoy, these kinds of games anyways, but are really angry and have been as angry as I have. I don't understand, however, how a whole bunch of people could have the same problems and it be this far into it and there's not really anything going on. And then, not to mention, on top of that, they're also having a huge cheating problem. So, that's with any game, of course, that first comes out, it, like Call of Duty or anything that first comes out. But it's so bad that people are actually trying to like get a lot of your in-depth information to the point of where it's making people not even want to play the game or even download it on their PC at all. So there's a whole bunch of widespread instances of aimbotting and wall hacking as well, but a whole lot of cheaters in a whole lot of different places. Um, there's also no way to disable crossplay in Halo Infinite as well for certain people's, uh, and also Xbox players. You guys are also experiencing a few problems. That one in particular. Um, so, from what I understand, they are trying to implement more anti cheating measures, which is one of the first things that they have decided to try and hit head on. Um, and they said another patch is going to be coming in mid February, which is going to address the cheating problem. Hopefully, this patch will also help with a few different things that people are also experiencing. They did come forward and state that, of course, it is unacceptable for Halo Infinite to be in, in this kind of situation. PC players aren't definitely going to tolerate these issues forever. I'm sure, just like most gamers, they're going to give a little bit of time for things to be able to kind of smooth themselves out. But in regards to like all of the different things that just came forward from all of the different problems, this is a huge problem for them. So I'm hoping, as time goes on, that they definitely will be able to fix some of the things that are happening. But it's a gigantic list and a whole slew of problems. I I definitely think with a lot of different gaming companies, and I was actually talking about this yesterday. I think with a lot of different gaming companies, there should be a bigger community outreach. And I think a lot of different people are starting to get that. Where they hire people to do like social medias and like things like that. To take polls to see what people, are feeling, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. But I think when it comes to like community outreach, it's still not enough when it comes to, people being able to explain what's going on, things like that. And where to do those things as well, because, when I first started to really have problems, as time went on, as consoles started to get a little bit more in depth, it's difficult to know who to get in touch with on certain things, especially because you can, like high res, like I've messaged them and been like, hey, this is a problem, and then be like, hey, I'm really sorry, but it's not our fault that this is happening. You have to contact these people, like you have to contact PlayStation or whatever. So, you run into a lot of different problems where people aren't exactly sure where to go, blah, blah, blah. So, opening up a lot of different things would be great. Different ways and different platforms for people to be able to get in and be able to talk to real people when things do happen. Maybe, if those things are seriously implemented, maybe more people in those general areas to be able to talk. I don't know. But it would make it a little bit easier, like in this situation for PC players to be able to go to a source and, whether it's like Facebook or Reddit, and be able to go onto those sites and be able to talk to somebody and be able to, relay information to the right people without having to go through the hoops and all that fun stuff, because that's no fun. It's no fun. So, speaking of my PC peoples, Elden Ring is coming out. And this game, man, I'm excited for this game. I don't know if I will get it for my PC yet. However, for my PC people who are going to, I do have a blog set up for you guys so you can see how, or rather, what the recommended requirements and the minimum specifics will be for being able to run your PC perfectly or well enough to, have all the wonderfulness that is Elden Ring upon your screen. Um, So it will be released on February 25th this month on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and it will also release on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which means that as the title is cross-generational, the PC version is likely to run on more rigs than game considered, next gen. Some PlayStation 5 owners are worried that the Elden Ring won't look as good. Um, but we'll see exactly what happens with that. I think it'll look really great. Probably not as well as it would on like 4K PC, but that's a little bit different. Um, Luckily, this isn't something PC players have to concern themselves with because that's easier said on PC than it is on any other console, which is pretty awesome. Um, so there are minimum specifics that you can look at on this blog, from CPU to the RAM that you need. The lowest CPU is the Intel Core i5. The lowest gigs is 8 gigabytes of RAM that you'll need. And it goes down into everything from your free disk space, which is 150 gigabytes. Dedicated video RAM needs to be about 2048 megabytes, which isn't a whole lot. So the recommended, however, is a little bit more than that, of course. Recommended to be able to play it as beautifully as you can is the Intel Core i7 for your CPU. You need about 12 gigabytes of RAM. Definitely on Windows 10 or higher. Anything that you've got, of course. But these specifics are really great, especially if you're looking at, and from what I can see, it doesn't have to be super swanky, which is really awesome. Especially if you're wanting the minimum, which is really nice. Like the lowest is Windows 7, which is really awesome for a brand new game that is coming out. So if you are still, a little bit behind on your Windows, you can still run it. But definitely check this out if you guys are wanting to see a little bit more into the specifics of what you need to, have everything together. And for those of you who don't know, Elden Ring is an action RPG that is heavily inspired by From Software's earlier games, such as Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne. Elden Ring will be the new experience of the George R.R. Martin's involvement into, and also alongside the iconic designer, Hidetaka Miyazaki. There we go. But unlike previous Soul games, Elden Ring will be an open world adventure that takes advantage of the PlayStation 5, Xbox X and S hardware as well. So, like I said, it will be released February 25th for those of you who are interested in getting this beautiful babe. And it will be released on all platforms. It was originally going to be released in January, so it makes me a little bit sad, but at the same time, I'm cool with giving time for like a really kick-ass game. Like I will take time. I will be patient. I will be a patient baby for a good game. So the plot of Elden Ring is mostly shrouded in mystery, but we do know the player is referred to as Tarnished. The player and other Tarnished characters are being hunted for reasons unknown. One character mentions the protagonist coming through the fog, which will sound familiar to, the Demon Souls fans. As with most of From Software's titles, it's likely that most details will be kept under wraps so that players can discover everything for themselves, likely through environmental storytelling found within the game's world. So I'm really excited about a lot of different things. I'm excited to see George R.R. Martin's little bits that have been put into there as well as Miyazaki. So I'm excited just to see the gorgeous art and things and the storyline and everything that comes from it as well. But that's about it for me today, you guys. I'm excited for Elden Ring. That's one of the games coming out this year that I'm really stoked for. I've watched so many different little things about it. It's not even funny. All right. So, thank you guys for being here today with me and my gaming news. It's starting to come together really beautifully. And I know I've said for the past few weeks that I'm going to try my best to get on and do my streaming and stuff like that, but I have been so sick and I am so sorry. I know that, that's not something to need to apologize for because I can't help it, but at the same time, it's like, oh my gosh, my mind is fine. It's my body that hates me. But now that January is over and me waking up this morning and feeling great, I hopefully will be able to stay 100% on my diet and not take little breaks here and there with awful food. Because sometimes I get these cravings for just awful food, and I think that's what it is. I think that's what might have messed me up. Mixed in with other fun stuff that I've had going on from like my severe cold flu, which wasn't COVID or Omicron, but it was a severe cold flu. It threw me on my ass. And I gave it back and forth to my dad, which was also terrible. But also the other infections and things that have been going on and things with my kidneys and my endometriosis and all that fun stuff. So we're just trying to figure out exactly what's going on. But I am really happy that I woke up like feeling so much better. So I will be working on lots of things, and I'm hoping that I will be able to keep my schedule this week. My permanent schedule so far right now, if you guys want to check that out as well, is up on my Twitch. My Mondays are my Matcha mornings. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays will be my stream nights. So if you guys want to check out my stream nights or play with me on Thursdays, now, not Fridays, Thursdays. Oh, sorry. Definitely check that out. Check out my Discord too. Easy way to get a hold of me and things like that. I forget to check most things. I'm trying so hard to get through, but I have been avidly working towards my Buy Me a Coffee as well. I do have a couple more blogs out, and I've got some more blogs for you guys this week and some more awesome stuff for you guys this week, catching up on like my products and like a whole bunch of different things. I did also start changing around my affiliates and things like that as well. A couple of the affiliates I felt like didn't really fit me where I wanted it to. So I decided to part ways with them at the end of the year. But I do have some really awesome affiliates up, some amazing links and different things that I've got set up for you guys, which you guys can check out on my Buy Me a Coffee. And it will pop up as a membership and a way to contribute and things like that. But I have a whole slew of free stuff on there for you guys, from like gaming blogs to anime blogs to different places that you guys can visit and fun gaming events and things going on. So definitely check that out. Really good products and things that I've done a lot of research on or product tested myself. So that way you guys know what you're getting into before you get into it. So there's a whole lot of stuff. Whole bunch of things. So don't, let the whole membership contributor thing throw you guys off. I do have a lot of fun, amazing things for you guys on there. And it is a way for you guys, of course, to be able to give anything that you can, instead of just Twitch and hopefully YouTube sometime soon, once I get a little bit more under my belt. But I am super stoked for everything that will be coming out, and hopefully this feeling good streak will keep on, because if it do, that means I'm going to be able to get stuff done, and that means I can get all my goals done. And I've got so many goals for this year, it's not even funny. One of those goals I haven't, I wasn't able to do, and I was so sad I wasn't able to go to the Comic-Con at the end of January, but there's some really fun stuff that is going on, this month and next month as well. So if you guys are wanting to meet up with me IRL in real life, or you guys are wanting to like see me or like grab a bite to eat, whatever, I will be going to a whole bunch of different like cons and different things, pretty much like every month. And I'll let you guys know, of course, probably like the day before or the day that I get there or whatever, like, hey, I'm here coming out, whatever. So that way I can like see some of you guys and hang out at some of these places, that I've been talking about or wanting to go. So this month for February, if you guys have not checked it out, Days of the Dead will be on February 25th. And right now, I plan on going. So, all of my horror fans, from my gaming to my anime to my IRL movies and all that live action fun stuffs, from like Halloween to all of the good things, that have been coming out, recently, like The Haunting of Hill House, stuff like that. Some of those actors and voiceover people will be there as well. Plus, they'll have a whole bunch of different stuff, like I said, from like gaming and anime, different things like that for sale too. But it's basically like a giant horror con, which is really awesome because there are a few different things that I really do want there. But they do have the plan to have like a whole bunch of different, like I said, different actors from a bunch of different things. And also voice actors as well. So if you guys are wanting to meet anybody in particular, definitely check that out. Their website, I believe, is daysofthedead.com. And you guys can purchase your tickets through their online. And I believe like the whole weekend is like $80. The VIP is about $180 for the whole weekend. And the VIP lets you do, of course, early access, meet different people, get free stuff, all of that, fun jazz and whatnots. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely check that out. They do have a few different COVID rules and things like that. I haven't exactly 100% checked into it, on what you need specifically, for certain things. Some stuff I've had to say no to because I can't pay for 2 different COVID tests before I go somewhere every time I want to go somewhere. So certain things, of course, I've had to put down. But most places that I've seen so far is like wear your mask, things like that. Some places they aren't as strenuous. So I definitely will be keeping up on that, and I'll also be probably covering that as well for you guys before it happens. So all of my horror peoples, if you are wanting to see that, definitely do that. The next one that I also will be doing will be March 11th. And that's Nerdy Girls, for those of you who don't know. And Nerdy Girls will be in Atlanta, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a whole bunch of drunk nerds hanging out, having a party, and being nerdy. So it's a nerd con mixed in with Mardi Gras. So if you like both of those things, then definitely check that out as well. I probably will be going to that too, and that it will be on Friday. So March 11th and February 25th will be the next 2 things that I am going to try and go to. And then one after that is Brickfest, and I want to go to that too. So if you guys are, like I said, wanting to check those out, I definitely will probably be at those, and I'll let you guys know when I do decide to do that. Other than that, I will have some stuff coming out. I will have different things going on this week. So definitely stay tuned. Definitely check some, all my socials out. And definitely check out my Buy Me a Coffee. That is definitely a big one. That is my baby and what will turn into like basically my blog site and where I put all of my fun information for all of you beautiful creatures. All right. That is about enough for me, you guys. Thank you so much again for being here this wonderful morning, and I hope you enjoyed my Matcha Morning Gaming Mornings. I have been also avidly working on my awesome background for my Matcha Mornings, and it is coming together beautifully. So soon enough, you'll actually be able to like see my face again and be able to check out, all the cool stuff that I have set up in my background, where it's like my own little talk show where I can talk to you guys about cool gaming shit. It's like a dream come true. It really is. All right, you guys. You guys have an absolutely wonderful Monday morning, and I hope I made a wonderful morning for you guys listening to all the good stuffs. I hope you guys also have a great rest of your wonderful week, and I hope everything goes great for you guys. And if you guys are feeling a little stuck, or you're feeling down, or you're just not feeling in the right place, change it up. You guys are more important than you give yourselves credit for. We are our own worst critic, and that is 100% the truth. So if you feel like there's something that needs to change, even if it's just the tiniest step that you've ever taken, take it. Because it means that later on, that tiny step will move into something a lot bigger and a lot more positive than where you are right now. And that means more to me that you guys are moving in a positive direction, especially for yourselves. I love you guys. And to be honest, I don't want to lose anybody else. So I tell everybody this, and I want you guys to know how special that you guys are and how much I hope that you see it. And on that note, I hope you guys have a grand rest of your day, and I will be seeing you guys later on this week for my next stream, my Smite Night. Smite Night! Oh, with its new beautiful season 9. Oh, God. All right, you guys. You have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will be seeing you then. Bye, guys.